How strange is this road trip going to be with all the restrictions because of the pandemic and such?
Strange. There's no doubt it's going to be strange. We're traveling day game tomorrow. That's different than most of us have done. We've done it after Christmas at times, but that's different. Part of that is just to limit the number of nights in the hotel, because when you're in the hotel, you really are kind of secluded to your room, and that's going to get old after a while. So more nights we can spend in our own beds, I think, is a positive thing. So, I think there's just a whole bunch of differences that that is just part of the reality of us being able to play. I sat in this chair and said how excited I was to be back at it, and I stand here today that's feeling the same way. And if that means that we have to have lots of restrictions on the road, so be it, as long as it gives us a chance to compete and play.
Well, the two guys, Fabry and Ernie, travel who are have been on COVID protocol, or
nope,
no?
Neither one will travel.
Okay. And do you feel like we've seen Dallas Stars delayed start to the season, games postponed. Capitals were just fine for, gathering on the road without masks. Like, there's been enough examples set of just how, there's no taking this lightly. That players have to be aware the entire time of the dangers involved.
Yeah, I think, it's something we've preached from day one here, and we've had our own examples of guys who've gotten COVID. Now, I want to start by saying I think anybody can get COVID at any time, and you can take great precautions. And with the exception of living in a bubble, you can get COVID. I've seen it firsthand that people have gotten it that I know took unbelievable precautions, and not just restricted to this hockey team. So I think anybody can get it, and certainly when you're playing a sport against each other, you can contract COVID from each other in those situations. You can get it. Most of us go grocery shopping at some point, so there's a lot of risks already in play. My kids go to school, and that's the reality of life, and they wear masks the whole time. But the reality is there's some risk involved there. What we have to do is what you talked about: is take as many precautions as possible, so that we can prevent the spread as much as we can, so that we can prevent any contact tracing, quarantines as much as possible. But if we thought, we could all, have this solved, this would have been solved a long time ago. It's not an easy thing, and there's no easy solution.
And just so I have this correct, players are pretty much supposed to stay in their hotel rooms and get meals there, but they are, for example, allowed to go for a walk outside. Is that correct?
Yes, for the most part, we're in our hotel room, or we have meals available in the hotel, so that we don't have to go. We can't go out to restaurants, or can't even go out really and get takeout. That can be delivered via DoorDash or whatnot. They can go out for a walk. They're to wear their masks when they're out on a walk, however.
Okay, and lastly, just Helm and Juice, do you expect either or both to be available this weekend, or?
I expect both to be available.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Ansar Khan with MLive.
Yeah, Jeff, just a different format today in practice. What was your thinking there with the 4 smaller groups?
This morning we had a couple of players unavailable to us, and as such, we made the decision to go with 4 smaller groups. And beyond that, I can't really comment much on it, and so that's why we made that decision.
Who's unavailable?
Not going to comment.
All right. So just talk about the previous game. The changes to the lines. Did you get the desired results you were looking for?
I thought Larkin, Mantha, Bertuzzi played excellent. Did they play excellent because they're on different lines? I don't know. I thought they played excellent, each one of them. They're big pieces of our team. But I thought as a group, we certainly defended much better. Now, we didn't create as much offense, so there's a balance there. I think the chances were, depending on who kept them, and we have a couple different models. They were as low as 5-5, and so there wasn't much offense, and it wasn't from a lack of compete, or it wasn't from a lack of willingness, or it wasn't from a lack of shooting the puck. Both teams, I thought, just defended really well. And so that's a positive. We can't give up the 19 chances we gave up the game before and win hockey games. We're not going to be that kind of team. We have to be a team that is efficient in our chances that we get and not give up many. So was it the desired effect? I mean, we ended up winning the game. I don't place everything on the result. I place it on the process of it, as you guys know. I thought from a defensive standpoint, it was much better. And I thought from certain individuals were again, I thought maybe played their best game this year. So from that aspect, I guess it was a success.
Thank you.
Next up, Ted Colfin with Detroit News.
Hey, Jeff, are you guys viewing this as almost like another challenge on the road now? Almost like a mental challenge to overcome when you guys go on the road?
I would say I'm viewing it as, an opportunity more than anything. And I think each team in the NHL right now has, there's differences than what we're used to, but we start the game with 20 players each, and we drop a puck, and whoever executes better wins, and for the most part, and especially over the long haul. So I'm only honestly just thinking about, the things that we can control. And I've preached that time and time again to our players, and certainly preach it to our own staff, that we have to worry about what we can control, and that's what's in front of us. And so I'm excited about tomorrow. We get a chance to go you play the Blackhawks. It's always fun, and let's go play.
Let me ask, I mean, these guys are adults, obviously. Are you guys going to monitor these guys, or is it, just everybody's on their own, basically?
We're not gonna. I'm a big believer in putting onus on individuals to make sure that they're responsible, and I don't run around town monitoring them in this during the year, and I'm not going to do it on the road. We have to police ourselves for certain. My job is to tell them what they're supposed to do, and then they have to go out and do it, whether that's on the ice or off the ice. And I think our guys have been really good overall. Like, they're not perfect, but they've been really good. I think we've done a really good job of spreading out. We've done a really good job with our masks. We've done a really good job in all those things. It just, again, this is not an easy battle. If it was, we wouldn't be faced with what we're faced with across the world, So we're going to do everything we can to have the right precautions. We're going to do everything we can to minimize, as we've talked about, those certain risks. And then, and then we got to trust our guys that they understand that this is the difference between being able to play and not play.
Thanks for this, Jeff.
Yep.
Next up, Max Boltman with The Athletic.
Hey, Jeff, just wanted to clarify. So when you travel to a game, will you still morning skate in Detroit? Will you do it there, or will you just not do it?
We will not morning skate. Depending on our testing situation, sometimes we'll come here, sometimes we'll test in the hangar, but we'll go right to the hotel and have a team meal, have a team meeting. So it's really not a whole bunch difference, except we won't morning skate. Guys will have their afternoons like they normally do, and then go to the game.
I imagine then, other than the fact that it won't be on like a bus or anything, is that just pretty similar to like the American League or what guys would have come up in junior? Most guys will have some familiarity doing that, other than the testing side.
Yeah, it's actually, I would say even I don't know if easier is the right word, but a lot of times in certainly in junior, and you travel however many hours, you roll into the game and you play. In the American League, I don't remember us doing that a bunch, but you can do that some. This is basically it's honestly just like those days after Christmas where you fly in, you might pregame skate, you go to the hotel. So it's just, the only difference is you got the 30 minutes of travel, and then so it's not a big deal to me at all. And we go in, we check in, we get our team meal just like you normally would. Yeah, we'll have a meeting at the hotel, and it's honestly not much different than if we had got in the night before and we didn't go skate.
For sure. What have your impressions of Christian Juice been so far in these first few days you've had him? I know not a full practice yet to see him in.
I'd like to have him in a full practice. That's what we prefer. So, the impression so far, just they're so minuscule in terms of observations that I wouldn't even really want to comment a whole bunch. I like him. He seems like a nice young guy. I know that I know him a little bit as a player, obviously from watching him on tape. But I like to get him into practice. I think it's important for him too, just to get in and feel good about everything that we do.
Thank you.
That's it for us today. Thanks, everyone.